We've got an early look at the upcoming new Agent GEKKO and all his abilities, so let's break it down and dive right in. GEKKO is an initiator Riot describes as the Angelino that commands a band of unruly beasts who charge ahead, causing chaos and confusion amongst their foes. With GEKKO hot on their trail, his comrades scatter the opposition, only to regroup and charge forward once more. This explanation of GEKKO's playstyle couldn't be more on the money. Every ability he has is some sort of pet that he throws out and sends off. And once used, they can be retrieved to be used again in the same round. And yes, even his ultimate has up to 2 charges if he retrieves the creature. Let's start by taking a closer look at GEKKO's powerful signature E ability, Dizzy. With a simple toss, this tiny creature unleashes a plasma blast that blinds enemies in its path. It's the perfect flash to help GEKKO's team take control of bomb sites. Unlike typical blinding flashes that leave you seeing stars, Dizzy's flash is a static image that covers the enemy's point of view. While we're not sure how long the flash lasts or if it's affected by angles, we do know that a plasma beam projectile is shot at the enemy when they're blinded, revealing their location for GEKKO's team to capitalize on. And if GEKKO can retrieve Dizzy, the ability is refreshed and put on a short cooldown. That's one slimy friend you'll want on your side. And speaking about your side, what better ability name than Wingman to convey the perfect partner in crime? Equipping his trusty Wingman, GEKKO sends it forward to seek out enemies. Upon sighting the first enemy, Wingman unleashes a concussive blast towards them so that enemies are stunned. But, in addition to this, using alt fire when targeting a spike site or planted spike, Wingman will either plant or even defuse the spike. To plant, GEKKO must have the spike in his inventory. Once Wingman expires, it reverts into an ornamented globule, which GEKKO can interact with to regain a charge after a short cooldown. His pathing is most similar to a raised boombot, and we don't know yet how he interacts with walls or other utility. Now, this ability is what really makes GEKKO's kit interesting, mainly because of how difficult it can be to plant and defuse the spike on certain maps. Having the spike being taken care of while you free up another player to help trade out and defend space could prove to be a must-have on some certain maps. Icebox and Pearl's B sites and Haven and Lotus's C sites immediately come to mind as being some of the most difficult areas to deal with the spike. And now, you might no longer have to sacrifice your Sage to get the plant down. We don't currently know how fragile Wingman is and if he can be killed or stopped by abilities in any way. However, it is fair to assume that he is safe from post-plant mollies while defusing, since it sits on top of the bomb instead of the floor as it defuses. Whether or not the little guy drops the bomb when killed trying to plant is also something we don't know. But yes, he too can be picked up and used again if GEKKO makes his way to where he goes down. GEKKO's next pocket monster is named Mosh, or his C ability Mosh Pit. Mosh is a throwable molly type utility. Upon landing, Mosh duplicates across a large area and then after a short delay, explodes. This is most similar to a KO molly in the way that after a short time on the ground, the area it covers explodes, dealing damage, not necessarily damage over time. This means 2 things. The first being lineup Larrys can have a field day with this ability looking to maximize its value on every single bomb site. And second, this ability doesn't just clear out an area when it lands. It first needs time to initialize, then explode later. So you're going to need some good team coordination and timing to make sure no one is caught by surprise from enemies standing in the danger zone before it has time to tick down. The total damage of the explosion is currently unknown, but since it seems to only be one big explosion, it wouldn't surprise me if it turns out to be a lot. Coming up last, but certainly not least, is GEKKO's ultimate ability named Thrash. GEKKO links with Thrash's mind and can steer her through enemy territory similar to a Skydog. Activate to lunge forward and explode, detaining any enemies in a small radius. When Thrash expires, she reverts into an adamant globule. Interact to reclaim the globule and gain another Thrash charge after a short cooldown. You heard that right, Thrash is a Skydog that detains enemies when impacting them. Right off the bat, the idea of this ultimate is amazing for helping duelists, specifically movement duelists, take and create space. I mean, there isn't much any player can do once detained with a Yoru, Neon, Jet, or Raze TPing, sprinting, or flying towards you. However, there are still many questions left unanswered when it comes to this ability, such as, is it possible to break Thrash like a Skydog before she's able to reach you? Or how long does the detain last for? How many ult orbs will this ultimate cost? How far can the ultimate travel? These questions are currently unanswered, but we believe will be the deciding factors on how strong this ultimate truly is. But one thing is for sure, GEKKO is going to want one of his insta-lock duelists to follow up on this ability, otherwise it might end up going to waste. GEKKO is one of the most unique Valorant kits we have ever seen added to the game. With new mechanics, new playstyles, and new combinations with other agents, expect the meta to get thrown for a loop. And also get ready for some learning GEKKO players in your solo queue games. It's hard to say if GEKKO will be able to live up to the expectations of a Sova or a KO in the initiator role. However, his skill ceiling is bound to be exceptionally high. Not only because of how his abilities interact, but the idea that you can pick up already used abilities for a second or even third use leaves so many plays possible for him. Most initiators are out of utility after their team takes a bomb site, but not GEKKO. If he is able to retrieve his friends, he could go and take another possible bomb site in the same round. So having a game plan for post plan is just as important for GEKKO as taking the bomb site was. Let us know what you guys think of his abilities in the comments section down below. To all of our future GEKKO mains out there, expect more in-depth breakdowns and guides in the coming weeks and months. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.